Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni viewer, and I'm here once again with some MonsterVerse news, this time once again involving figures related to the movie, but don't worry, there are no spoilers this time. Bandai has released a promotional image for their figures of the Big Four who will be appearing in King of the Monsters 2019. Those of course being Godzilla, Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra. Here's the image. You'll have to excuse the low resolution, this is the best I could find at the moment. I'm sure a better image will pop up at some point. As you can imagine, these are for the 6-inch figures. There is a promo for a larger Godzilla figure down below, of course. Now, Bandai used to be the final word in quality kaiju figures. Before SH Monster Arts was launched, and before NECA got in on making kaiju figures for Pacific Rim and Godzilla 2014, Bandai was basically where you went for good quality kaiju figures. They weren't necessarily known for their articulation, but they were definitely known for their detail. In fact, there was a time when Bandai's figures were so movie accurate, they were actually used in the official Godzilla movies. I speak, of course, of the aggregate Destroya figures appearing in Godzilla vs. Destroya. Unfortunately, these days the Bandai figures seem to have dipped in quality for some reason. Whether it's sticking to a basic paint job for their Bandai USA figures, or anomalies like the anime Godzilla figure's crooked left foot that for some reason, despite being the same scale as the right foot, is at an angle and causes the figure to not stand straight. So how do these figures look? Well, again, this is a low-resolution picture, it's not the easiest to tell. Godzilla looks fine, of course, they probably just made some modifications to their 2014 Godzilla mold. Ghidorah also looks fine, though there doesn't seem to be much in the way of paint variation on him. In fact, he looks eerily similar to the Jakks Pacific mold. Almost makes me wonder if they used the exact same mold for each company. Naturally, of course, you're going to see a lot of detail put into those two. But when it comes to Mothra and Rodan, oh boy. Now from the look of it, the sculpt of the Mothra figure looks fine, but what about the coloring? This is what has me confused here. The most prominent color on this Mothra figure is black. This stands in contrast to pretty much everything else we've seen. In the trailers and posters, Mothra is illuminated in green. The SH Monster Arts figure predominantly went with orange, brown, and yellow shades. The Jakks Pacific figure was predominantly red, and now this figure is predominantly black. Granted, the color black is present on all the other figures, but here it's the primary color. At this point, I just have to ask, what color is Mothra even going to be? And why on earth did they pick black as the dominant color for this figure? It just doesn't look right. It's good for Batra maybe, but not Mothra. Then again, a bad paint job is one thing. When we shift over to Rodan, oh good lord, what am I even looking at? First off, the wings are clearly a bit stubbier than they ought to be. Second, the legs aren't even separate from the body, making him look like a finger puppet. And the head, what on earth happened here? I know all the footage we've seen so far of Legendary Rodan hasn't shown him in a standing position like this, but the head on this figure doesn't look like it fits there. He looks like a bobblehead. It looks too big, I think. I mean, hopefully there's still an opportunity for them to change these things. That does happen sometimes. When NECA released its first promotional images for the 1984 Godzilla, people said the head looked so incredibly wrong that NECA went ahead and changed it, though nobody said anything about the feet until it was too late. So maybe these images are just to test the water and they can make some modifications. I sure as heck hope so. Well, from what I've seen in the comment sections, most of you guys have your sights set on the SH Monster Arts figures anyway, so this might not even affect you. Still, it's kind of sad to look at, really. Like I said, Bandai used to be the leading authority in this particular market, and now I'm looking at these things. My, how the times have changed. Well, anyway, you're free to leave your thoughts on these figures in the comment section below. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni viewer signing off. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, as well as subscribe to the channel for more content of a similar nature. Also, check the description for links to our Twitter, DeviantArt, and Patreon pages, as well as the Amazon link for the novel Operation Red Dragon: The Daikaiju Wars Part 1, penned by yours truly. Thank you all, and we appreciate your support.